So, good morning, everyone. So, I'm Pasan. So, let's talk about IoT concept research paper experience. So, doing this video for my fulfillment of the WC module in my university. So, let's discuss about IoT concept. So, I will explain myself a bit. So, I am Pasan Karnasekara. I'm here undergraduate at SLIIT and also a member of MS Club of SLIIT. So today I'm going to discuss about my research paper experience and content of my research paper. Actually, in this session, I'm going to give you idea about my experience, how to write a research paper, and how the research paper staff should manage. And I'm going to share my knowledge that I gained from the research paper about the IoT. So that's my research area. So the two things I'm going to discuss in today. So yeah, let's move on. So first, research paper experience. So why I did this research and how I select the topic, sites and reference I used. Some of them I will show you. So features I add to paper and I will show my research paper and I will discuss what are these features, why did I add these, and there are must in research paper some features. So tools I used for create this research paper, actually I use some another tool beyond the Word, Microsoft Word. So that tool is generating a report with a template. Actually, it's really good quality. So I will share my knowledge about those things. So first, why I did this research. Actually, the main purpose is to fulfill the assignment of the WC modules in my university. So my university is Sri Lanka Institute of Information Technology. So the fulfillment of the assignment, I did this research. So as well as I like to learn new things. So by doing the research, actually I gain many advantages. Actually, I learn many things because doing a research means actually we have to learn read more references. So by reading references, we can gain many knowledge. So actually, in this research, actually I gain many experience about researches and many knowledge about IoT. So that's my research topic. So actually, gaining knowledge and fulfillment of assignment is the purpose. So how I select the topic? So actually, in this assignment, we are guided to select the topic related to wireless communication. So when it comes to wireless communication, there are several topics, actually several, no, there are many. So, 5G, 4G technology, they are the peak in the wireless communication these days. Also, 6G is invented and announced, 6G is developing, under developing. So 6G will come in few years. So also there are many things and many disadvantages and many faults in 5G. So we can also research in that area, give recommendations how 5G should improve and like that. So there are also in wireless communication, we have a wireless communication signals like Zigbee, Bluetooth. Likewise, there are many things in wireless communication research. So let me show you in wireless communication research. So, yes. So let's go to Google Scholar. In Google Scholar, it's necessary to get references. So let's search on wireless So you can see wireless communication. There are many research areas I say. So you can see wireless sensor network. This is one of the major components in wireless communication sensor network. Actually, this sensor network is also related to IoT because IoT is mainly based on the sensor network, getting information from sensors and the process the data and give an output is an IoT. So also here you can see a history of the wireless and elemental evolution of the wireless, challenges, advertising. So there are many areas you can see principles of wireless communication, wireless telegraphic communication. Also, you can see when it comes to 4G and 5G, there are many. Actually, in these areas, many researchers actually doing their research on 5G, 4G, and the 6G because the next technical evolution is the 6G. So inventing a new thing for the future technology is a big uh, for their reputation. So also you can see there are many researchers going on and published in 5G, 4G, and actually let's see about 6G. Yes, there are research available for 6G. That growth was 6G. Why? What should 6G be? A good research, I think, about the future technology recommendations. So then let's go on to our topic again. So how I select the topic? Actually, I select IoT. Right? IoT is the use of the wireless communication. Using wireless communication, doing such process is IoT. IoT is a process using wireless communication. So I choose it because it is a huge research area. There are many things, many technologies, many advantages, and as well as there are many disadvantages in the privacy and security sector in IoT. So I think I should do the research to gain give some knowledge about IoT to community. Actually, uh, in some uh, in some analytics, they say IoT will be in huge evolution in future years. So, but I think there are many people doesn't even know what is IoT, the Internet of Things. What are the benefits we can gain from this? So I think I have to give a knowledge by researching IoT stuff and get IoT architectures and everything together for one research paper, and I can represent it to the community to gain knowledge. So that's why I select the topic IoT. So sites and reference I use. So I will show you. Uh, I research actually 40 or 40 to 35, yeah, 40 to 45 research papers. So among those, I selected 15 research papers for my references. They are a good reference actually. Most of them from Australian universities, and some of them are from Indian. Yeah, I will show some of them, not all of them. Also, you can see challenges and solutions for applications and technologies in Internet of Things. So you can see that I get some reference from this, and this is from the Department of Computer Science and Computer Engineering in Australian University. So published by Fourth Information System International Conference 2017. And here another one. This is about IoT Internet of Things advantages, and e-learning in smart cities. So actually, e-learning is a very advantage, very comprehensive topic. Actually, using IoT, improving e-learning is many benefits for these days. Like in pandemic situations, online learning is came to stage. Actually, online learning is become a major parts in the society, major concern, e-learning. So in e-learning, using IoT, we can actually get a real experience as we are in class. Actually, teachers can interact very often with the students, and students also can interact with their teachers and do their studies with IoT environment e-learning. So I select this research paper as my reference because of that. And a detailed study of IoT. So I use this for getting about history of the IoT and blogs and other technologies about IoT. So and also medical area, IoT can be used because health monitoring systems and uh, emergency health recovery systems, we can use the IoT. So also agriculture, in this research paper, I get some idea about the agriculture, how IoT is adapted to agriculture, how big farms manage with IoT with few human resources. So likewise, here about the IoT sensors, how those add up to the technology automated procedures. So geometrical monitoring, how the changes happen in the environment, we can use the IoT for get very details about that. So likewise, I get some research papers. Many of those research papers I get from the IEEE Explorer and the Google Scholar. So let me show you how did I get these references. Actually, I get most of them from the Google Scholar. I show you how I found these resources. So let's search on IoT. So here there are many things about IoT, IoT security, IoT users, and COVID-19 pandemic, how IoT is used, and process automation, IoT with for cloud systems, and cyber threats about IoT. Everything is here, how to manage IoT device. So you can see in Google Scholar, in here, right corner, that PDFs are available. Actually, I mainly use the IEEE.org because IEEE Explorer is a good, and recommendable resources. Actually, they are very good. Actually, it means the content of the research papers are very accurate and updated. So I use the IEEE.org mainly, and there are some other sites I also use, like academia.edu. So this site have this research paper, so you can download even in this PDF. Right? Yes, in this PDF you can download it. So this research paper about the blockchain platform, actually, that is also very interesting. Using IoT on the blockchain, this is very popular with Bitcoins. So using IoT is possible for that area also. So that's how I gain the resources. So I will show you the IEEE Explorer also. Here, the IEEE Explorer, there are hundreds of researches with good content, updated, accurate content. So just you have to search on here, IoT, and the research results will be available. Then you can get some idea about those researches. So it will be getting wild. So yeah, here there are many researchers about IoT-based electrical device, drivers, and control systems, and middleware, REST APIs and middleware with IoT, and challenges and issues. Likewise, IoT charity actually a very interesting topic. So, likewise, many research areas about IoT is here. So you can get a resource from the IEEE Explorer also. So yeah, let's move on. Features I add to the research paper. So I will show my research paper. I didn't add all of the features, so I add certain features. They are must to be in the research paper. So I will show you my research paper. Here you can see my research paper. IoT concept and IoT knowledge is my research topic. And here you can see up corner this research proposal is written to assignment in wireless communication module in third year first semester computer system network. Actually, I write abstract here. That's called abstract because I write why I write this research paper, why I need gather this information. So everything is displayed on this abstract part. So the next one is the introduction. So when we write a report, even a report or lab report, anything, we have to give an introduction. What are the content in this, and what is the basic idea of the content in this research paper? So I write an introduction about IoT and what are the contents in this research. So a brief idea what I'm going to talking about. So before a reading of the research paper, you have to read an introduction, conclusion, and the abstract. By reading introduction, conclusion, and the abstract, you can get a general idea about what are the contents in this research paper. So before you get in the reference, you have to read those three and get an idea. So is this relevant to your topic? You can get the reference, or else you can dump it away. So first thing, when you are referencing, read the introduction and conclusion. So conclusion is a summary of the entire system, entire research paper. So by reading introduction, conclusion, and the abstract, you can get a general idea. Then you can get this as reference. So I also add introduction and abstract. So after that, I add literature survey. So what is literature survey means? Actually, I'm getting reference, right? I'm getting reference from the other sites and research papers. So when I'm getting references, so I can refer any research papers now. So those research papers, abstract, it means summary. That you think I get reference from e-learning research paper I showed you. So I have to write about brief introduction, brief summary about that research paper. So I get e-learning research paper, these details. So these details get from the IEEE Explorer from the e-learning reference. So likewise, I have to write something. And anyway, I write literature survey with every research paper I used. So this information gets by this reference get by this research paper. Likewise, I write a literature survey. So the next one is the research problem. So research problem is why I am doing this research. There is a research gap. To fulfill that research, I am doing this research. Fulfill that research gap, I am doing this research. So what is the research problem? I have to write that in my research. So in my research problem is, I will read it for you. In IoT, there are a huge research gap because IoT is a trending in the world, but still there are people who do not have an idea about the IoT or its usage and benefits. Using this research paper, trying to give an idea about IoT to users in the society. IoT knowledge should increase and update day by day to get work easy. So giving ideas about basic and deep concepts about IoT is important to troubleshoot the technology in any case. So actually, I write this paper for given idea, given a knowledge about the IoT. So fulfill that gap, the leak of the knowledge of the IoT. So that is the problem. There is a huge gap between IoT knowledge. So my research goal is the next topic. Research goal is for fulfill that gap, fulfill that research gap. I am doing this research. So next up is the objective. The main objective and sub-objectives can be under the objective category. So objective also like research goal. Objective is in here. My objective is to give idea about the IoT. So in that main objective, there are three sub-objectives in my research. So give an idea about IoT benefits and advantages, and knowledge about IoT architectures and technologies, and ideas about IoT future recommendations and disadvantages. So after that, the methodology step. As the first step, in methodology, actually, I did it one thing. How did I write this research paper? How did I get the resources, and how I ordered the resources, and how the topics are made. So that is happening in methodology. So in my methodology, as first step, I get reference and write a literature review, and after that, I write introduction, abstract, and I write my contents about architectures, users, stage, and IoT blocks, also IoT benefits, advantages, and the disadvantages. Also, I discuss recommendations with combined with disadvantages. So the tools for searching relevant picture service picture using Google Scholar and IoT Explorer. So I also added this in methodology. So what I did, everything is in this methodology, how I follow the content. So after that, my content of the IoT is going on. You can see technologies, basic blocks. Likewise, there are many things. I will discuss it the basic introduction. So after that, here the last part, the conclusion. Conclusion is the whole summary. In upper part, there are many things, many content. All of those contents, the summary is in the conclusion. So you can, by reading the conclusion, you can get the basic idea about the research paper in here. So in conclusion, I told you the summary is here. So also you have to write everything in summarized version in the conclusion. So that's and the references, that's the major important thing. So reference is, because why reference is important is how did you gain these resources? So you have to give a feedback to respect for the who found those things. So doing these references, actually I see what I see is doing a relevant right. So they obtain this information and I used it for and my research. So I have to give some respect, and the doing reference is a good thing in every research paper or report. So in here I follow the IEEE standard. So in here, in this part, I use the reference for. You can see challenges and solutions in application technologies used by research used by Sard, Abshinia, and Densob. So I use that research paper for this content. So I add citation and the reference here. So likewise, these are the basic concepts and basic order of the research paper of mine. So let's move on to our presentation again. So tools are used for creating this research paper. So actually using Word, Microsoft Word, you can create a research paper. I select another one. So it's guided by our Professor Lakmal. So guided us for using this overleaf LaTeX environment. So using this, actually what happened is we can select a template for our research paper. Then we can edit a template with it is like just some kind like coding. So not exactly coding with a huge keyword. So there are a few keywords actually. Using those keywords, we can fully edit this research paper template. So if you are new to this, you have search about overleaf.com. So I will add these links in my description also. So going to the new project, you can see you can get templates for academic journals, books, posters, resumes, presentations. So I use the academic journal here. So I will show my research paper and I will give you an idea about the features. So let's go on. So yes, it will get while sorry, it's generated. So here you can see my research paper. And what happened here is in the left side you can see another panel like huge coding, right? It's not coding actually. Here you can see the title. There are some keywords, so you can see the keywords by pressing the slash here, the forward slash. In here you can see that there are many keywords and item text. So you're familiar about this actually when using this by looking at the right research paper and the left side coding, you can get familiar with that. So I will show you some basics, and here you can see the title and the author. You can see the title, the author thing. Let me show you. The title is here and the author is the type author. Then you can add the author here. Then the abstract field, other contents, and then you can come to the report here. The abstract is the beginning of the report. Then we can end the abstract here. This section, the between these two lines, this section is the abstract, and the document can be begin with begin command, and it should be end with the after reference on the document should be end. So it is more like coding, like C programming, Java programming, some related, but not exactly. This is very easy. So in here, if you want to add title, you can use section keyword. Under that section, you can add subsections also. Let me show you something. Subsections, yeah. Here, the subsection thing. Under the section, there can be many subsections, and if you go into a new line here, you can slash new line, use slash new line command. So also here, if you want to add a figure to the LaTeX environment research paper, you can use begin figure and you can have to end it here. Also, like a document, in middle of the document, you can begin the figure and end the figure. So you also can add the label for the figure. So here you can see zoom it for you. Here you can add the image and show figure label also. So by using these LaTeX, you can generate a good quality template, good quality report with the templates. And or if you are not very fan of templates, you can create your own one. So when you are adding references, you have here this. You can see the left corner, the sample.bib file. Here you can add the reference. You can add the reference with at article keyword with the reference. It is beside the brackets author, title, scheme, and publisher. So after that, after adding the reference, you just have to like here you can see the highlighted on the cite command and the paper number. So I add several papers in the list and I use the cite command with for the citation in the main template. So likewise, you can edit this template and get the best report for you. let's move on to next topic. So content of the research paper. So in my content, there will be the introduction, architectures, IoT blocks, wireless technologies, web technologies used, advantages and users, and disadvantages are here. So let's move on. I will show you my research paper. You and discuss the content. So here, introduction. I will read something for you, some introduction for you. IoT is one of the major benefits of wireless communication. IoT is named the Internet of Things, which means the Internet controls all components they use. Today, IoT is doing a major role for manage human life in an easy way using IoT, smart cities, smart vehicles, and other technologies are deployed. Also, IoT is a separate study area and a research area because of its importance of the IoT use. IoT all daily using components can handle using the internet. When using the internet to control those components also can operate the devices anywhere in the world. In IoT, there is a lack of devices and sensors to communicate to the wireless. Likewise, I tried to write somewhat introduction about my research paper. So I will upload a link for you to refer this research paper as well. So I will try to write it after the my evaluation has been completed. So I will add it for sure in my description. So check it. So here you can see my lecture survey. In my first research paper, I get knowledge about the wireless technology and gives many benefits to human life. And Internet of Things give many new technological evolution facts like self-driving cars, automated houses environments, and automated farms. Or IoT has become almost everything in the world now, according to many analytics surveys. So, future of the human life will be fully automated with IoT environments. In building a house, and there's a first citation is here. I believe it means my first research paper about the IoT basics. So the next one is about the IoT architectures. So building a house, everything must be pre-planned and foundation is needed for the system. IoT also has a foundation in with IoT architectures. So the second one is for IoT architectures. Likewise, I write every research paper in literature review. Every basically for the research paper. So I read the research problem for you at the previous slide. So and the research goal also, objectives and methodology. Also I read that for you. So the IoT architecture. So IoT architecture means actually a IoT basic structure represents set of devices and connect to the controller. Like a device are controlled by wirelessly with the controller. So in IoT architecture, actually there are few. Actually, it means there are few architectures. More than basic structure, there are architectures representing a more organizational IoT environment. IoT has several architecture types. All those architecture modules are given by several research groups. First one is European FP7 research project. According to that research, there are 3 components. These components are based on actually 3. FP7 research is based on 3. Actually, you can imagine. Also, I will show you that content also. Give me some time. Okay, I will show you. Actually, here, yeah. You can see this is FP7 research project about European IoT. So in here you can see the tree. In tree, the roots are the IoT interface. interpretable technologies, and the trunk is for the connection, represent the connection or potential necessary set of enablers or building, which means the resource provider means connectivity, like everything is provided by the trunk. And leaves enable the device. Actually, a maximum set of interpretable IoT systems. Actually, the leaves is representing the devices and IoT components used in IoT systems, something by the leaves. So this is European 7. Then after that, you can see the main architect side. So this in many research papers, the ITU architecture. ITU architecture, there are actually four components: sensing layer, networking layer, service layer, and interface layer. In sensing layer, what happens is every sensors and what is interacting with the environment to getting details is responsible for this sensing layer. And after that, the network layer, who is responsible for the connectivity and the availability of the data, how data is going here and there, how the controllers control their devices. If everything is responsible for the connectivity is the network layer. After that, the service layer. Service layer is provide applications and services for IoT. It means the end device applications. So you need to control like the application for the coding part has been done, and the application of the pricing the brightness and the lower brightness is available in the service layer. So service layer also have three main tasks: service discovery, service composition, and service data. So after that, the interface layer is here. Interface layer means the user interface. Actually, in IoT environment, there are different components and different people to get all these different objects in same standard interface layer. Is the layer responsible for that? Interface layer is responsible for the given a standard interface, and compatibility issues must solve for get maximum throughput from the information exchange. So that is what happened in the interface layer. So when it comes to the blocks of IoT basic blocks, actually basic blocks means we can summarize IoT into actually 4 different components, everything in devices, the sensors, and it can be robotic arms, like in devices. The one component and the gateways is who's providing the connectivity to internet and responsible for connecting those end devices to the internet. Actually, that is what happens in gateways, and also responsible for filtering the relevant information from all incoming data. It means filtering. There can be a vulnerable data and some other unauthorized data. So gateways are for the filtering those data and give the availability for the IoT network is responsible for gateway. The connectivity also. In connectivity, the end devices to the gateway, the one connectivity is here, and the gateway to the cloud or the internet, there is another connectivity. So everything is mostly done by the wireless communication. Wireless signals are the base of those connectivity. So the cloud services are for you can use cloud services for the APIs, and also we can use for databases. Likewise, we can use cloud services as the other end in the IoT environment. One end is the end devices, and the other end can be cloud devices also, cloud services. So in IoT, when it comes to IoT technology, so the basic IoT technology is the wireless signals. I told you, wireless signals begin from the radio frequency identification called RFID. It's from came from Second World War. You know about communicating of the wireless. This came in World War. So they used RFID to share their messages. So after that, internet protocols, IP version 6, IP version 4, about that things. And the IP version 4, there are 5 classes, A, B, C, D, and the E, and also IP version uh, 2. Because of the IP version 4 limitation, the IP version 6 is come because it has many IP addresses. There are huge number of IP addresses. So also, when we come to the wireless fidelity, the Wi-Fi, Wi-Fi about everyone knows about the Wi-Fi. Then the EPC, the barcodes, about in the food city products, there's a barcode for when you scan the barcode, the price, the quantity, and everything is displayed on the screen. You know about barcode, and everyone is familiar with QR code. We can scan the QR code and fill some forms and get some tokens. About QR codes. So also there are Bluetooth, Zigbee here. You can see about that. Also, after that, wireless sensor network. I told you about wireless sensor network. There is wireless sensor network is big, many related to IoT. The sensor network is connected to the internet and controlled using another component. It's happening in the IoT. Bluetooth is a short range radio frequency. To know about Bluetooth, everyone has a smartphone, or even the older phone is button phones. You know about the Bluetooth is there, and Zigbee protocol enhanced features of wireless sensor networks. The Zigbee is used in wireless sensor networks for the connectivity most of the time. So in IoT advantages, there are wide advantages. So there are some of them, not all of them. So I had major things in here. The manufacturing process, you can use IoT by sensing the manufacturing process using sensors. We can reduce the human resource, and there can be many manufacturing. There can be risky jobs by cutting your papers, likewise. Everything can be automated by, we can limit the risk in that manufacturing process also. In home and life, you can drive auto, you can drive car, auto, in these days is possible, and also automated homes. When you go into home, the coffee will be ready and lights will be on. Everything can be automated with using IoT. Also in health section, we can use remote surgeries in these days. It is possible because of IoT, and we can automate the treatment in COVID-19 situations without interacting with the human patient. Doctors can treat, then we can save our health issue from the such kind of disease like COVID-19. So we can use IoT for these things, and it can be we can use this for the emergency health recovering. If there is an accident, we can monitor the patient without a doctor using some devices created by IoT and sensors, temperature sensors, and cameras. We can use used to give an instant treatment for the patient. So also transportation, you can in public transportation, in these days, or also in earlier days, there is a big problem to tracking the transport method. Where is the bus? When is it come? So using IoT, we can use trackers to track the transportation, and also we can alert about the cancellation of the transportation method. So also in traffic can be monitored by IoT systems and give an idea about drivers to in this area the traffic is huge, so you can use the other parts. So using Google Maps, collaborating with Google Maps with IoT, we can actually develop a better transportation methods using IoT and the Google Maps and other satellite mapping systems also. And whether you can use wind detectors and rain measurements. and also heat generate heat sensors. By using those sensors, we can get a good input and give an output about the weather condition in different areas. So by referencing this information, everyone can everyone can ready for the any situation will be coming from the weather. So in education, so you can I told you about that in e-learning. I said reference e-learning, one of the e-learning research paper. So in education, so in education, what happened is you can use for e-learning like pandemic situations. With IoT, more interactive education methods can be developed with cameras and some sensors. We can track the students as teachers, and we can interact with them. If they are bored, if they are not, if a student is not there, we can check what happened. So we can more interact with the students with IoT. So also agriculture, managing a huge farming space actually is very costlier with human resources and also time consuming. So with IoT automation, so we can use drones and other sensors to detect the plant conditions, and we can use drones fertilizing and watering, and also we can detect the diseases happen in the plants, and we can give you the necessary treatments from the automated process by using IoT. So as I analyzed a few seven advantages, benefits from all of those sectors: improved productivity and reduce human resources, effective operation management, better use of resources, cost effective, and improved safety, and customer satisfaction will be improved, and time saved. So as well as advantages, there are many disadvantages. So the main disadvantage is security and privacy, because we are using wireless, right? Uh, in this wireless communication, cyber attacks can come, ransomware, then there are many security errors can become. So by securing access point using SSL and ETLS, so we can secure some kind of we can get some kind of security from those. So using security and privacy, so the security and privacy policies, and so we can secure the devices. Actually, the problem in IoT is every single one is connecting to the internet. Every single device is connecting through the gateway. So we must aware to add policies in every devices. So this is major important thing, because there can be cameras and sensors. The human sensitive data will be transferring in this network. So the security and privacy must is a must. So in IoT, the major disadvantage, because if one point fails, a single point of failure can be uh, down the entire system, or every sensitive data can be out going to out in the internet. So also ethics and laws. Actually, this is a more than disadvantage. This is a limitation. So with different countries with ethics and laws, this technology is actually limited with the laws. So we have to undergo laws, because everything is under the law. So with those limitations, we have to get the good productivity under the law. So that is one disadvantage, because using cameras and sensors actually this will it is a good effect in the ethics and law. So we have to consider about laws and ethics also. So scalability, availability, and reliability. So when we when we come to scalability, we can add devices and scale the IoT, not issue, but when we are scaling, the bandwidth will be shared, and the speed will be reduced. So when we are doing the scalability, we have to also consider about availability. We must have many gateways or bandwidth provided to us. So that is one disadvantage, because when scaling the device, so we have to scalability of the network, we have to consider about the signal areas and how the signal is transferred and the bandwidth. So a reliable data channel is needed to give the free service to the users. Really, that's in the reliable side problem. So when it comes to quality of service, give a good quality service. That quality of service is a metric. QoS is a metric for the monitoring the quality of the IoT environment or anything with QoS. So maintaining QoS, we have to ensure the good quality services provided by our IoT network. So also OASIS, WSQM, and the ISO IEC25010 is a method used for IoT implementation QoS. So IoT implementation QoS models. So by following those, we can measure our IoT environment qualities and identify how the quality is going on. So with better quality of service, we can satisfy the customers. Also, we can satisfy the users of the IoT environment. So finally, I tried the conclusion about those everything in my research. So finally, I give you some idea about what are the advantages I get from this research. So I learned much about the IoT as a student, knowing about IoT in my degree area of networking, computer networking and systems. So knowing about IoT is a good benefit for me doing new things. Using IoT is my future aspect. So knowing about these architectures and users that are available now, the disadvantages and the advantages of the IoT, it is a good benefit for me to carry on my industry and in my degree program. So thank you all of you for joining with me. So I think I hope you learned something. So I will add necessary links in my description where you can follow them and you can also create a research. So thank you.